Guys, it's Kelly. Mari and I are back today with another challenge. And today the challenge was to use Project Life cards. Now, I don't know about you, but I have way too many of these cards. And I decided that I wanted to use some of my Maggie Holmes cards. And I printed off my pictures in black and white because the lighting was awful. It was in Claire's in a mall. My daughter went and had her ears pierced a second time. So, you know, the lighting, the colors were just awful. And it, you know, when you print in black and white, it just takes away so much. And actually, sometimes I feel like the focus is more on the person and what's going on. And, you know, for me with this, I knew that I wanted to put a bunch of different cards on my layout just to try to see how many I could use. And so I just thought if I took my pictures black and white, it would make it so much easier. So my inspiration when I, you know, pulled through the cards was just the blues, the teals, and the pinks. And I wanted to see what I could find with that. And then the other thing that I did is I looked for things that I could cut out, and whether that be a word or a tag. A lot of times these cards will have some things like that label. I was just looking, trying to figure out what else I can cut out. And, you know, it makes these cards really go so far with what you want or, you know, things that you're trying to figure out and how to use them. So at this point, I'm not sure which one I'm looking for. There was one in particular I thought I had seen. It may have been one with a butterfly. I was thinking I would add a butterfly to this layout as well. And my thought with the butterfly was that, you know, she's growing up and she's changing. And not only does Maggie Holmes use a lot of butterflies in her collections, it's just very pretty. So I took one of my Martha Stewart punches and punched out a butterfly, and sad to say it never makes it onto the layout, but I'm going to keep it with the with my ephemera for this collection just because I'm pretty sure that I will definitely be able to use it at some other point. And one of my kitties just crawled up into my lap, so if you can hear him purring, it's Romeo. He's joining me today. He's wanting a few rubbins. So originally my thought was to try to get everything embellished just from the Project Life cards, but then I thought, you know, that's kind of ridiculous. Just because we're doing the challenge of Project Life cards does not mean that I can't pull out some stickers or some other embellishments to go along with it. And so I just stuck with, you know, what was easy, and that is anything by Maggie Holmes, just because I knew that, you know, the colors would work well together. So I did pull that green lace sticker off of one of the sheets, and I just had to punch out some of the holes. You know, when you pull them off the sticker sheet, it doesn't, sometimes it, you know, it leaves the little pieces in and you have to punch them out. And then I also had a Project Life corner rounder, and that does not get much use. I had bought that right when it came out, and I was thinking that I would be doing Project Life, and I just don't have time. You know, I love the idea of it, and maybe if my kids were smaller, it would be something that would really appeal to me because of how easy some of these cards make it to do so. But I just love the creative part of playing with papers and photos and things like that on the 12 by 12 spreadsheet. So I don't know that I will ever do a Project Life album in its intended purpose, but I do love the cards, and I will continue to buy some cards here and there just because the designs that they have are perfect, and the fact that you can, you know, do some things. It's a really nice way of stretching a paper line if, you know, the company has one out that corresponds with it. So that banner piece I've spent way too much time on, just trying to make sure that nothing would get cut off. I decided to do the 4 card across for a total of 8. And the reason being is I wanted to use as many cards as I possibly could without it looking completely overwhelming. And at this point, I'm just taking some of that gold glitter washi tape, and I wanted to have it in a couple of places on some of the different cards. And I liked the torn edge on top of the washi on that bottom right hand corner. That's one of the joys for me, is when you take something and you make it look real. Like it was pretty flat and one-dimensional with that washi, with that green. So just by adding that little bit of gold, it just really brings some life to that page. So I'm just showing you, I decided to go ahead and just do some white stitching. And I wanted to do some white stitching just to contain the cards. I had thought about pulling out some paper, but I really wanted to keep this a little bit brighter because I had all of these colors and I didn't want it to get too dark. So I just decided to do the white stitching, and I liked that little bit of texture that it gave. And these stickers are the font Doll, and I love these colors, and the font is just so pretty. And I found another packet Tuesday morning for $1.99, so they made their way home with me. And this is another set of her stickers, and you can see I haven't used very many on that back end. And so for today, I was thinking I wanted to see what I could get used up. I still don't have very much of Maggie's Bloom collection. As a matter of fact, I only think that I got one piece of paper that came in a kit. And so I really want to get that collection. So I've been trying to purposefully use some of the things with her, hers, I lost my word, with the older collections that I have, because, I'm trying to justify buying another collection that I don't really need, but I really need, if you know what I mean. So I decided to take this packaging and pop up that tag. I finally got it to look right, and it worked with me placing a circle from the sticker sheet and then some words on top of it, and then I could act like I was sticking the sticker to the tag with the clip. And that was way more work than it really needed to be, but I am like clip challenged, and I was determined I was going to get that clip to work. And I liked the way that it repeated the bow from that blue bow, and plus it's just, getting something used that I've had in my stash. So I like it when I make tags look like tags, and I just pulled some twine and just ran it through and tied a little bow. And I pulled out these little resin hearts, and I don't use any of them on the page. They just didn't quite go with the theme. I think it was with a newer collection that those were from, and they just looked out of place. So for this bottom cluster, what I'm trying to do is bring some pink down in it, and I liked that little bit of lighter pink, but it really needed that pop of the darker pink. And so before I wouldn't have used that darker pink sticker because it said something cute on it, and I would have thought to myself, I can use this on another layout, and I can, use it in its entirety. And now I'm just telling myself, it doesn't matter. I'm not going to save it. If I can use it on this page, I'm going to use it, and that way I can say I've used it. So I decided my final touch would be enamel dots. I decided not to use any mist on this just because, again, I wanted to keep it pretty clean, and there's not a whole lot of white space on the layout, so I wanted to really preserve the white space that I had. And these enamel dots are from Recollections, and I think My Mind's Eye. And that will pretty much do it. So I invite you to go look at Mari's layout as well, and if you have an idea for a challenge that you'd like to see us do, please leave us a comment. Our next challenge, which I'm not going to say what it is, but it is inspired from a reader. We had a reader request and let us know, and so we are going to be doing that. So we will see you again in 2 weeks. Thanks so much, guys. Take care. Bye.